about things? You kind of seen that from the team so far.
Well, I don't want them to be me. I want them to be themselves. Yeah. And so, like I said, killer was something that I saw inside of them when I watched them play. So, no, I definitely don't want them to be me. I want them to be themselves, and I want them to be great in that space.
Sorry, I didn't.
I know. I'm like, I could hear them. I don't even need that because I can.
Yeah, do we need this? Okay, sorry. Yeah, just after like reflecting on the preseason game, like what do you take away from it? What do you think you guys can be better at that maybe you didn't know you had to work on? And what do you think that what impressed you that you were like, oh, we're further ahead than I realized?
Yeah, I think watching the film back, we are further ahead. Got to chat with my coaches last night, and yeah, the offense and the spacing to me was we're ahead for sure. The attention to detail, though, defensively, that's where I want to make sure we lock in because, like I said, like our defense is going to be basically our DNA. Like we are defensive minded, and we carry defense on the road. So, attention to detail is something we're going to clean up.
Hi, Natalie. Janie McCauley from Associated Press. Nice to see you. Along those lines, I guess, what have you noticed so far in terms of maybe a culture that this group is forming, and maybe how much everybody takes pride in being, the first group of Valkyries? Are you seeing that already in just the play and the spirit and the hustle and those kinds of things?
Yeah, well, to first answer your first question is our culture is joy. It started with competitiveness. I mean, I've been changing the words a little bit from competitive to connected, but I walked down the hall this morning, and usually, after an off day, you kind of not sure what you're going to expect, but the girls were singing already, dancing on their own, and so yeah, just a lot of joy. That's kind of what I'm feeling, yeah.
Who are the best dancers and singers on the
Oh,
team?
man.
And what kind?
I can't say that because then they're going to make me dance even more. To be honest, I am a very good dancer. I don't show, you know what I mean? Like, you guys don't want to show everything.
Would you come up and would you stand up and
no,
show
I
us?
cannot because that thing's going to go viral. No,
Okay,
I got to keep it private.
Okay.
No, but when I was in school, like when I went to college, I danced all the time.
Okay.
That
What
was
kind of dancing?
That's a great, in the club, like whatever the club calls for, like in the club dancing.
All right.
Yeah.
Coach, I'm assuming the team's going to be flying out Saturday to Phoenix for the preseason game. I'm just curious, what kind of, this being your first ever road trip as a team, how much you discuss logistics? Are you envisioning logistics to be similar to what you guys did with the Aces? How's that kind of planning process going?
I mean, they're all pros. They all traveled, and our college players, they know what it is to get on an airplane. They go to a hotel. Nothing new. I mean, yeah, we'll have obviously certain times of when we'll meet and this and that, but nothing changes. This is not something that's going to be completely different as long as we give them the schedule ahead of time, which, I enjoy. I like to give the players their time and their space. So, yeah, I think it's going to be cool because it's our first time together on the road. So whatever that plane ride, I guarantee you there's going to be music. Again, I'm requesting Rihanna. We went weekend today for Kiki. We went weekend because that was her artist. But yeah, just fun times. Probably do a team dinner. Don't quote me on that because then they're going to make sure I have a team dinner. So we'll see. Yeah.
Hi. Obviously, a lot's been made of the number of international players on the team. I'm curious how it's been kind of molding maybe different styles of play on the floor and also just the different cultures and bringing it all together into one.
Yeah, I think what's really helped is Julie can translate for all of them. Like, Julie speaks everyone's language, so that's kind of been really key, just the way we can connect that way. Because, again, imagine going to another country and you have no idea. Like, when I played in Germany, I really wasn't understanding, but, I made sure, I paid attention to see, what that basketball, whether it was a drill or a play, I paid attention to. So it's been nice to have Julie because she's just... Again, she's listening, she's doing extra, for a teammate. And then, again, like I said, I want them to be themselves in that. So if, they want to play a little bit faster in that pace because that's what they did, then they could play fast. Like I said, I keep saying, I want them to be themselves in our space. Yeah.
Do you think, in a way, is your roster a reflection of how much the game has grown globally over the last couple of decades?
No, I mean... You could say that, but it was more a type of philosophy that I wanted to do. And then because of the expansion draft, because I got to handpick, then it kind of just, melted into that. So I'm not really sure, to be honest. Yeah.
I just had a quick question for you about the fans at Chase Center for that first preseason game. I know it was like 17,000 plus showed up for a Tuesday night game.
Yeah.
It's one of the biggest preseason crowds so far. How does that make you feel?
Grateful, lucky. I couldn't imagine a better preseason game situation. Like, as I walked in, I'm like, this is unreal. Like, you just saw fans. Like, even like I barely saw any pockets. And then once we started, playing, we were nervous at the beginning. You could see that. But then once we got loose and the crowd got into it, I mean, there's that sixth man that we're asking for, So they responded to everything, whether it was collision, it was the hustle play. So yeah, it was amazing. And then literally I saw Tip the next morning and I'm like, did you have fun? And she's like, yeah. She goes, it almost felt like we won the game, like our crowd was so, behind us. And LA making that shot. It was so funny because the crowd just went crazy. You saw some of the LA players are like, wait, did we win or did GS won? So no, yeah, they showed up. They showed up and they showed out. So very grateful.
We've talked a little bit about like what chemistry looks like and when you can tell that it's being built and developed and those little things. What have you kind of seen maybe today in practice after that preseason game where on the court you're seeing that chemistry change and develop?
Yeah, it's going to take, time. Today's day 8, but I think now we're being more intentional on another layer of, like I said, they looked for the hot gal, whoever was on fire, they looked for it. But now, again, defensively, what does that look like? It's more, can we really follow the game plan, to a T? And I think we hit it pretty hard today in film, some of the mistakes that we made. So I think just the attention to detail and, look, at the end of the day, like, it's our best game plan against, opponent. So we want to be great with that game plan.
Just one more for me. Just you've talked a lot about being a three-point shooting team. Obviously, you think you started 1 for 14 from 3 or something like that.
Yeah.
How do you want the offense to look when that three-point shot isn't working? Like, how do you want to get into paint, or like, what do you want to develop there so that you're not so reliant on that?
Yeah, so it doesn't change. I told him at halftime, like, y'all, we were 1 for 13, and I said, just let it fly. That's our philosophy. That's what we do. So we're not going to change based off of anything other than I know. We practice every day. We've been practicing for hours and hours on the type of shots that we want. Really, it's quality threes. It's not just threes. It's quality threes. And so, like I said, if it's open, it's a quality shot. That's the shot that we're shooting. So could be a layup. If it's a wide open layup, you think that's a quality shot? A wide open layup? Yeah. So I want quality shots. Yeah.
Earlier, I guess last week, I don't know what day it is, but sometime in the past training camp,
Right.
Stan, you were talking about how one of the things that made you upset during practice was the amount of turnovers
Yep.
one day. And then in the first half against LA, you guys, I think, had 11 turnovers. Really cleaned it up in the second half.
Yeah.
But were the turnovers in the first half similar to what we were seeing in practice? Was it what LA was doing? And how do you address that moving forward and just work on limiting turnovers?
Yeah, just nerves. I saw nerves, and I saw a hungry team. Like, every time we play a team in the W, it's going to be a battle. It's going to be war. That's why I'm getting them to have the mindset of killers. Like, we want to approach this thing either a win or die mentality. So, of course, like, we didn't expect anything other than the energy and fight that the LA brought. And so we just have to be able to maintain our space, make the right reads, and take care of the ball. Yeah. 4 was better than 11. Yeah. Good. Thanks, you guys. I really appreciate it.